All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the incredible technology behind tools like ChatGPT and Gemini, what we call large language models, or LLMs for short.
I mean, we've all seen AI do some pretty amazing things, right? It can draft emails, whip up a business plan, even spit out lines of code. The capabilities are just exploding. But with all that power, we have to ask the really important question. Can we actually trust everything it tells us? Let's find out.
So to really get a handle on AI's limitations, we've got to peek behind the curtain and see how it actually works. And honestly, what you'll find is probably a lot simpler than you think. At its core, it's all about prediction.
See, an LLM isn't thinking in the way a person does. A better way to think about it is as a super-powered pattern matcher. It's been fed a gigantic library. We're talking millions of books, articles, and websites, and from all that, it's learned the intricate dance of human language.
Okay, so take a sentence like this. How is an AI going to finish it? Well, it doesn't understand rain or streets. What it does is run the numbers. It crunches probabilities based on every sentence it's ever seen to find the most common patterns. And this is where it gets really interesting. The AI is literally just playing the odds. Based on its training, it calculates that the word wet has the highest chance of coming next. Sure, other words like clean or damp are in the running, but something like dry, that's got a super low probability. So it picks the most statistically probable word to finish the sentence. It's a remarkable feat of pattern recognition, but, and you gotta remember this, it is not a feat of understanding. And that fundamental difference, that's where things can start to go off the rails.
That whole system of just predicting the next word, it's what makes AI so incredibly powerful, but it's also the source of its biggest weaknesses. Let's talk about a couple of the most common glitches you're going to run into.
Okay, first up, we have something that folks in the field call hallucinations. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's when the AI generates information that sounds totally factual and plausible, but it's completely wrong. It just confidently makes things up.
So why does this happen? Well, maybe the information it was trained on was a little spotty, or it just couldn't find a strong enough pattern. So instead of just saying, hey, I don't know, it'll invent a detail that sounds right, like getting a company's founding date completely wrong.
The second big problem is bias. And this one, well, this one's on us. You see, because the AI learns from a huge chunk of the internet and all sorts of books, it's basically holding up a mirror to us. It absorbs the good, the bad, and yeah, the biased parts of our human writing.
So for example, because of the biases that already exist out there in its training data, an LLM might be way more likely to connect certain jobs with certain genders. It's not trying to be malicious, not at all. It's just spitting back the patterns it learned from our own language.
Okay, so just knowing about these flaws is half the battle. That's the first and most important step. But what can you actually do about it? Let's get into a practical strategy.
Right, so since we know for a fact the AI can get things wrong, how do you work with it? How do you step in and become its guide, its fact checker, to make sure the output is actually reliable and fair?
Before you even think about copying, pasting, or trusting anything an AI gives you, you've got to run it through this simple 4-step check. 1. Is it accurate? 2. Is it unbiased and fair? 3. Is it actually relevant to your question? And 4. Is it detailed enough for what you need? Your critical eye is the most important part of this whole process.
And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway here. Your role isn't just to use this powerful technology, but to really partner with it in a responsible way.
You know, this quote from our source material really nails it. Large language models are powerful tools that require human guidance for effective use. Think of them as incredible assistants, but they are not the final authority. They perform at their absolute best with your thoughtful oversight.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this final thought. AI is not some magic box that just gives you perfect answers. Understanding its limitations, its tendency to hallucinate, and to reflect our own biases doesn't make it a weaker tool. Actually, it does the opposite. It empowers you to use it more effectively, more creatively, and most importantly, more responsibly.